Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, what today's video is gonna be 12 things that I wish I knew earlier, mental health edition. I feel like this video is gonna speak to many people. But I hate long intro, so let's get into the video. And don't forget, I like to go by the quote, take the risk or lose the chance. So let's go. Okay. Number one, your mental health determines everything. Now, me personally, when I say your mental health determines everything, if you're not mentally available, then it's going to start to show up in your life physically. Like what I say by that, like if mentally you're, like you sitting in class physically, but if mentally you're not there, like your mind isn't wrapping around, it's being said because your brain is elsewhere, it's going to start to show up physically. It's going to like show up in your grades and your attitude and your mood. So yeah, your mental health does determine everything. Number two, it's okay not to be okay. And I know that that is like one of the most cliche things ever, because like everybody says it the second you're not feeling a tip to your toppers. Everybody says it, but then once you actually like go through something and you feel as though you have to always be happy or always be this or always be that, it's okay not to be okay. Quote is gonna be your best friend, because it's kind of like that's allowing you and helping you understand that you don't have to always be happy. It's okay to feel things besides happiness. Number three, your mental health comes before everything. And when I say before everything, I mean school, work, friends, events, activities. Your mental health comes before everything, because if you think about it, like the first one, you not mentally being there is going to start to show up physically. And people tend to forget how important mental health is, because I actually forgot at one point that mental health is actually really important. I think it's not more so that I forgot. I think it's more so like I never really understood it. But your mental health, I feel as though you have to be there for yourself mentally to be able to overcome obstacles and things like that. Because when it comes down to it, your mental health does determine your mood, your feelings, this, that, and the third. So I feel like your mental health is actually more important than people give mental health credit for. Number four. Okay, so this is a big one. You're not alone. And when I say that, I generally mean you're not alone. It's like there is somebody going through exactly what you're going through at the exact same time. There's somebody that has went through what you have went through or what you're going through now, and there's somebody that's going to go through what you're going through now. Typically, when episodes arise, people feel lonely, and that's actually a real common feeling with depression, anxiety, things like that. That's actually a really common feeling, for you to feel lonely and alone, like nobody's listening, like nobody cares, or you just feel as though, oh, you can't talk to anybody because nobody understands. There is somebody out there that has been through exactly what you're going through now, and they're willing to sit down and hear your story. They're willing to sit down with you and listen, be your advocate. Trust me. And like most therapists out here, they have been through things. Some of them have probably gone through what you have gone through, and they're willing to listen and help. There are multiple types of depression. Now this one, I didn't learn this one until like maybe a year or two ago. There are multiple types of depression. Like when I say there's multiple types of depression, it doesn't show up the same in everybody. Like everybody doesn't self-harm. Everybody just doesn't lay in bed all day, cry all day. There are multiple forms of depression. So just because you went through depression and then the next person went through depression, but it didn't show up for both of y'all the same way, does not lessen the way somebody else dealt with what they was going through. I think I'm about to say this right. It's like functioning depression, something like that. Basically, you can get all your stuff done and still have a heavy heart. Hi guys. Okay, I'm back now, so let's finish this up. All right. Number 6, get help regardless of what anybody got to say about it. And when I say that, I generally mean like regardless of what friends, family, co-workers, boss, management, anything, regardless of what anybody has to say about it. Because when you think about it, who gonna be the one living with that pain in their heart? Not them. It's gonna be you. Just because you listened to them when they was like, oh, don't do this and don't do that as far as getting help for your mental health. Excuse me. So when you think about it, you need to remember that you're the one that's living with yourself forever, and you're the one that have to deal with it. So what I say to that is do what you gotta do. Like, go get your mental health right. All right. Number 7, functioning depression is a real thing. So you may feel like just because you get your schoolwork done, go to make it to work on time, handle your shifts, get all that done, this, that, and the third, that you're perfectly fine. And like, that very rarely is the case, and you generally know that you do that stuff and like you are actually really sad. You probably is, I'm not no doctor, so I'm not diagnosing you, but I'm saying like functioning depression is a real thing, and people don't realize that. Number 8. Okay, so my therapist, she kind of told me this thing like whenever something would happen. So it was like, give yourself 24 hours to feel what you need to feel what you need to feel. But after 24 hours, if it's still like bothering you, talk about it. Like maybe the first 24 hours you don't really want to deal with people too much, but like after 24 hours, if it's still like keeping you up at night, you're constantly thinking about it, talk to somebody about it. All right, number 9. Yeah, therapy only works if you put forth the effort. Let me say that again. Therapy only works if you put forth the effort. Like if you're just going to therapy, listening, writing down what they're saying, write down, but you like not putting in the effort, it ain't gonna work. Once you actually start putting in the effort, showing you want to better yourself, working towards bettering yourself, that's when you actually see real results. And like, you need to remember that it does not come overnight. So don't just go to therapy one day and think, oh, I'm better now, and then the next day you're probably having a mental breakdown. It doesn't come overnight. So that happening don't feel like, oh, all my hard work is not paying off. So keep that in mind. Okay, number 10. You are exactly where you need to be right now. And when I say that, some people, they automatically understand it. Some people, they might need me to explain it, and that's fine. When I say you are exactly where you need to be right now, don't base your success off of the next person's success, and don't base your failures off of the next person's failures. You are where you're supposed to be. So regardless of what it is, if you're not higher up, you keep working towards it. You're exactly where you need to be right now. Number 11. This is the very first most important thing I gotta say. Your feelings are valid, and I can't stress this enough. Your feelings are valid. Just because somebody doesn't agree with how you feeling doesn't mean that they're not valid. Just because somebody doesn't necessarily understand where you're coming from doesn't mean that they're not valid. Your feelings are beyond valid. Your feelings and emotions, they're not below the next person. And number 12 is you are enough. You are enough. And when it comes down to it, if the next person can't see that you're enough, then it's time for you to move on to a different friend group or a different relationship. Or you just need to move on with yourself. Teach yourself that you are enough. Learn to love yourself. Because when it comes down to it, you're enough. As simple as that. Alright guys, that completes this video. As you can tell, I really do hope that some of you take this advice, or you save the advice to use for later, or you give the advice to somebody else. I do feel like this can go a long way. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.